Hello, in this video we're looking at issue 78 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine, where we finish our Necron Catacomb Command Barge, which can now lead the Necron legions on the battlefield. Hello, I'm Will and I'm here with Mike with the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we'll be looking at issue 78 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. This issue came with the second part of the Necron Catacomb Command Barge, so you can finish building it, and it will appear in our battle report, which you can skip to using the timecode in the description or the chapter bars if you want to see that. But we'll have a look through the issue contents as always. First of all, we have background on the Chaos Demons of Slaanesh here, and like always, they reflect the personality of Slaanesh, being quite a chaotic and whimsical force of very strange creatures and very disturbing imagery, perhaps more so than any of the other Chaos Gods. So we have the Heralds of Slaanesh here, some of the most powerful, who commonly focus on one particular excess that they prefer. The Demonettes are Slaanesh's foot soldiers, if you can call them that, at once both alluring and repulsive. The Keeper of Secrets is the Greater Demon of Slaanesh, very unsettling beings, and Shalaxi Hellbane is a named one who particularly specialises in killing the champions of the other Chaos Gods. And we have a very long short story here about an Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor dispatched to investigate a world going quiet, but discovers more than he bargained for in the Sileria system. Infiltrating a disused mine complex, they find some quite disturbing things, a miner who tells them that their doom is at hand, before they're suddenly set upon by a host of Slaaneshi demons, which doesn't go particularly well for them. And now we have the painting guide for the Catacomb Command Barge. So this is just the same techniques as all the other Necron things, but on a slightly larger scale, using Runor Brass, Leadbelcher and Abaddon Black for all base coats. And then, the usual washing. And this is all the same as we've seen before, so there's not really anything new here. And there's a lot of glowing green bits to use with Tesseract Glow, and it actually suggests using White Scar here to highlight some of the glowing orbs to make them look even brighter, and painting the Necron Overlord's War Scythe with the technique for painting Necron blades. And there we go, the finished model up to the standard that we've been taught to paint with this, and I think it looks quite good once it's finished. But that's it for our issue contents. You can see its rules on the next page there, so I'll hand you over to Mike, who'll go over those and then take us into our game.
Well, before we can get into today's game, we need to learn how to use our Catacomb Command Barge. So it is a 9 power HQ option for the Necrons. For its stat line, it has a 12-inch move, a 2+ weapon skill and ballistic skill, strength 5, toughness 6, 9 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10 and 3+ save. It has the option between the Gauss Cannon or the Tesla Cannon. So the Gauss Cannon is a 24-inch range, heavy 3, strength 6, AP-3, D3 damage weapon. For the Tesla Cannon, it's got a 30-inch range, heavy 3, strength 6, AP0, 1 damage. For each unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 2 additional hits. It also has a War Scythe for the Overlord riding it, which is exactly the same as the ones wielded by the Lich Guard, and it also comes with a Resurrection Orb, so you can have 2 now, and it works exactly the same way as the Overlord on foot. So it also has My Will Be Done and Relentless March, which again work exactly the same way as the Overlord on foot, and it has Living Metal and Command Protocols. It has Quantum Shielding, which gives you a 5+ invulnerable save and you can only wound it on a roll of 4 or better. It has the chance to explode and causes a mortal wound to each unit within 3 inches, and it hovers, so you measure from parts of the model's hull rather than from its base. And for its keywords, it's a vehicle, it has a character keyword, and it can fly. It's also a noble, so we actually have 2 nobles to choose from now. But because it's a vehicle, it doesn't benefit from the Lich Guard's bodyguarding ability, and I don't think we can use that to Necron Stratagem to bring it back to life either. And on the next page, it's just clarifying the hovering rule, so you measure movement from the front of the hull to the front of the hull. And then down here it shows how you measure line of sight to any part of the hull to be able to see it. Although because it's a vehicle, it doesn't benefit from any cover, even though it's hidden behind that building. And for background for today's mission, the Imperium have finally found a route through to reach the Dolmen Gate and are trying to force their way through this breach and establish a beachhead to create a clear path for reinforcements. Obviously the Necrons are going to do their utmost to stop them from doing that, even if it means unleashing the Destroyer Cults. And today's mission is Battle in the Tomb, a 75 power veteran mission. Player A, which is the Imperium for this mission, has a 9-inch deployment zone along one of the short edges, and then player B has a triangular deployment zone with the hypotenuse along the other short edge. And there's also a 6-inch by 11-inch red rectangle, which is used for one of the objectives, but then there are also 4 objective markers around the centre, 15 inches away along the vertical and 10 inches away along the horizontal. And we have the hostile territory rule, where if a unit has a pre-battle ability that allows it to be set up anywhere on the battlefield, it must be deployed within your deployment zone instead. Likewise, if it has a pre-battle ability that allows it to move, it must end the move wholly within your deployment zone. Our primary objective is we're back to take and hold, so you get 5 victory points for holding 1 objective marker, 5 if you control 2 or more, and 5 if you control more than your opponent, but you can't score that in the first battle round. And then when choosing secondary objectives, the Imperium player can choose the established foothold one instead of a usual one, where the Imperium player adds up the power rating of all friendly units wholly within the red zone at the end of the game, and score the number of victory points equal to the total for a maximum of 15. So I'll show you our armies, get the board set up and get straight into the game. Well, here's my Imperial force for today's mission. So I've got Kjalma and the Victrix Guard. Kjalma is going to be my Warlord as usual. And I've also got a Lieutenant, 3 Aggressors, 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors, the Outriders, the Suppressors and the Invader ATB with the Multi-Melter. That adds up to 50 power of Marines. I've got 15 power of AdMech with the Tech Beast Dominus, the Skitarii Rangers and the Cataphrone Destroyers. And then 10 power of Adeptus Sororitas with the Battle Sisters and the Seraphim.
And here's my Necron army. So we've also got the new Catacomb Command Barge in the front. I've given it the Gauss rather than the Tesla because it's better. That will be my Warlord, and it'll have Enduring Will and can take that one, so -1 damage from everything. Also for HQs I've got the Royal Warden, the Technomancer, who'll have the Photonic Trans-Subjector, and the Plasmancer, who has 2 Crypto Thralls accompanying him. And we've got our usual 3 troops choices, 5 Death Marks, 5 Flayed Ones, 2 units of 3 Scarabs, 3 Tomb Blades, 3 Wraiths, the Triarch Stalker with the Heavy Gauss, Cantic Reanimator and a Cantic Spider.
So we finished deploying, quick aerial view of the battlefield, and you might be able to make out all the objectives. Basically a diamond pattern, so 1 and 4 on the top and bottom, and 3 is over there on the left, and number 2 is actually underneath that, near a Hemotrope reactor. So I'll go with my deployment first. So we've got the Outriders with the ATV behind them, 1 unit of Assault Intercessors and the Battle Sisters. And then I've got my AdMech contingent with the Rangers in front, then the Cataphrons and Dominus behind. Then I have the other unit of Assault Intercessors, the Victrix Guard, Kjalma, the Lieutenant and the Suppressors. And I also have the Seraphim in reserves with their Sky Strike and the Aggressors in strategic reserves. My Sacred Right is going to be Divine Guidance, and my secondary objective is going to be Attrition. I'm not going to do the mission specific one because it looks a bit difficult.
And here's my Necrons in my weird triangular deployment zone. So at the tip of the triangle, as it were, we've got the Plasmancer actually, with the Crypto Thralls, Technomancer is in there, Royal Warden, the Immortals, and the Tomb Blades. To their left is the Wraiths. Behind the pipe is the Catacomb Command Barge. And then behind the other Hemotrope reactor, we've got the 1 unit of Warriors with Gauss Flayers, the Reanimator, the Spider, 1 unit of Scarabs, and the Triarch Stalker. Then I've got the Flayed Ones and the Death Marks both in dimensional translocation, and then the unit of Warriors with the Chaos Reapers and 1 unit of Scarabs in strategic reserves. And for my secondary objective, I've also picked Attrition, just because I think there isn't really a good choice, and all the other ones are going to be very difficult to achieve.
And now we can roll off to see who gets the first turn.
Oh, I actually won the roll-off for once. I suppose I'll go first.
So we're into Necrons, turn 1. Well, start the first battle round. I got a 2 Miracle Dice. I'm going to use the Aggressor Doctriner for the Skitarii. The only thing that can shoot at them is going to be the Triarch Stalker, and that will reduce their armour to a 6+ invulnerable save anyway, so I might as well get the extra movement for now.
And we're going to have Protocol of the Southern Storm for +1 movement on everything. My will be done on the Immortals, because they will get a couple of models in range. They've moved up with the Tomb Blades, the Royal Warden advanced, the Wraiths advanced, getting themselves into that building there, and the Technomancer has jumped over the pipe, he's coming this way. In the middle, well, I put the Reanimation Beam on the Warriors, but they actually decided to go the other way to the Reanimator in the end, so the Reanimator's in the middle now. The Triarch Stalker moved up down the road, and then everything on the far side advanced to get where it is. The Scarabs are not quite in range of Objective 1. Only got a tiny bit of shooting. The Triarch Stalker is in range of the Cataphrone Destroyers though, so we'll shoot them. On 3s, only getting 3 hits, and winning on 3s, 2 whips.
6+ saves. Nope.
D3 damage each. First one kills 1, and kills 1. Okay.
Oh.
And then there are 2 Immortals and the Tomb Blade with the Gauss in range of the Outrider squad, so we'll shoot them both at the same time because it's all the same. Although the Immortals are hitting on 2s because they got My Will Be Done, so they'll be the black dice. 1 miss, and we're all winning on 3s. No, triple 1. But that's it for my turn. I have nothing else in range to shoot.
So on to Imperium turn 1. Going with my movement, down here the Outriders and the ATV moved up normally. I could have advanced to get them on the objective, but I'm going to be a bit more cautious. Those Assault Intercessors advanced to get into the structure. In the middle, I advanced the Battle Sisters onto the objective, and I will be spending 2 command points for their Defenders of the Faith at the end of the phase. I'm also spending 2 command points for Data Blessed Auto Summon to give the remaining Cataphrone Benediction of the Omnissiah, and I didn't get any of those command points back from Calgar, so I've still got that available. And then the Skitarii moved up normally into the building, Dominus coming up behind. All the Marines on foot advance, so Victrix Guard, Assault Intercessors, Calgar and the Lieutenant, who you can't see but he's just behind that red window there, to get them closer to Objective 1, and then the Suppressors moved up on top of the structure, start the shooting with the Suppressors, and they're going to shoot at the Reanimator. So 9 shots from the Suppressors, hitting on 4s because they moved, rerolling everything because of Calgar, and rerolls, 8 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. That's 8 wounds.
5 to save, every failure is 2 damage. Oh, I actually made a lot, but yeah, that's 8 damage. It's dead. Might explode on a 6. No.
Do the Outriders, they're going to shoot at the Immortals. 2 wounds from the Outriders.
4s to save. Oh, no, we lose 2. Do they get back up? No.
Do the Invader, it will put its bolt rifles into the Immortals as well, and then the Multi-Melter into the Wraiths. A lot of good shooting, all of our shots hit, no wounds to the Immortals, but 2 wounds on the Wraiths.
2 4+ invulnerable. Made 1, failed 1. I'll spend a command point to re-roll that. No, still failed.
D6 damage. 5.
Kills 1. Does it come back? No.
The Battle Sister with the Flamer is actually just about in range of the Wraiths, and she can see it through a window in that building, so she'll shoot first, and then the Cataphrone Destroyer will shoot at the Wraiths as well. 2 wounds from the Flamer.
2+ save though, being in cover. Yeah, we're fine.
And the Cataphrone Destroyer, you know what, we will supercharge. We'll take a risk. D6 shots, just 1. Hits on a 4. It does. 3. Does.
4+. Made it.
Telepriest Dominus is also able to shoot the Wraiths, so 3 shots on 3s because he moved. Only 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. No. Just the Skitarii Rangers left, so they'll all shoot at the Wraiths apart from the Sniper who's going to shoot at the Raw Warden, who he can somehow see through the window and various ruins.
Yeah, he's actually got a surprisingly clear line of sight given the amount of stuff in the way.
And I think I will supercharge the Plasma as well. Starting with the Rifles, got 2 wounds on the Wraiths.
With 3s, they were fine.
2 shots on the Alt Rifle on 3s, both hit. And 3s to wound, 1 wound, minus 2.
4, no.
In time for the Plasma Caliber on 3s, rolling 1s. Oh, I missed twice. Yeah, that's all the shooting at the Wraiths then. And the Sniper hitting the Raw Warden on a 4. Yes. And wounding on a 3. Yes, no more to wound though.
With a 5 to save, I think. Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, but that is all my shooting. I killed 1 Necron unit with the Reanimator, compared to 0 for Necron, so I win attrition for this battle round, giving me 4 victory points. And we're on to Necron's turn 2. Well, my second Miracle Dice is a 3. I'm going to choose Shroud's Arm as my Canticle and Bulwark as my Doctriner, so that's +1 save, -3 movement.
And we're going to do Protocol of the Eternal Guardian, and since everything is going to be moving, I will do Able to Overwatch better or Set to Defend if charged. So we brought back an Immortal in the command phase, and then the Immortals have moved into the building. The Wraiths have zoomed up ahead to go and tackle those Assault Intercessors. The Tomb Blades are on the objective number 4. Raw Warden and the Technomancer sitting behind the Immortals there. Triumph Stalkers just moved up to take place on objective 2. The Warriors got My Will Be Done on them and they've moved up normally. The Plasma is there. The Crypto Thralls are actually holding the objective from the other side of the wall. The Scarab moved forward to go and tie up some Rangers or something. The Spider is behind the wall there, and the Command Barge just moved up. And then from Strategic Reserves we brought in 1 unit of Scarabs down on objective 4. And a big unit of Warriors on objective 1. And the Death Marks have also come down on that roof from Dimensional Translocation. And finally brought down the Flayed ones over in the top left corner behind the Imperial lines. End of the movement phase, Plasma's Harbinger of Destruction will hit the Victrix Guard. They take a mortal wound. Then in the shooting phase, the Triarch Stalker will start with shooting at the Suppressors.
Yep, I'll use Transient Physiology, and I've already rolled and I got that command point back.
So 6 shots on 3s. Oh, only 2 hits. Wounding on 4s, although I think we're Techno-Oracular targeting because I'm not going to use it for anything else. So 1 to roll, which does wound.
Got cover, so 5s. Nope. Hey, you know what, I'll reroll 1. It's a word saving a suppressor, I think. Nope.
So D3 kills 1 with the first one, and kills a second. Do the Warriors up at the top with the Gauss Flayers first. They can only see the Victrix Guard, so they shoot them. 4 wounds.
So 3s. Oh, fell 2. 1 dies.
I'll shoot all the other Warriors at that Victrix Guard as well, because they're the only target they're all in range of. I only managed 4 wounds as well, with 20 shots.
So 3s again. Horrible. Fell 2, he's still alive.
So I'll do the plasma launcher with them because it's the only thing he can see and he can't target Calgar. He gets 1 shot, which hits and wounds.
3 plus invulnerable, I imagine. Yes.
I'll do the Catacomb Command Barge next. It's going to shoot the Suppressor Sergeant. So it has a normal Gauss cannon, so 3 shots on 2s because it's driven by an Overlord, so they all hit. Transhume is still in effect, so 4s. 2 wounds.
So 5s. Made 1.
More D3 damage. 2 is dead. And because we're playing for attrition, the death marks are going to shoot at that Victrix guard. Just the 1 wound.
3 plus invulnerable. He lives.
Everything over here is probably just going to shoot the Outriders. We'll start with the Royal Warden. Royal Warden did nothing, but the Immortal's got 3 wounds.
5 plus armor saves. Oh, he made 2.
So since it's 1 on 3 wounds, I'll do the Wraiths into them. 2 shots on 4s. Oh, they both missed. And the 2 blades between them managed to do another wound. So that's all my shooting. So onto the charge phase, I'm going to declare a charge with that unit of Scarabs into the Skitarii Rangers.
So yeah, they'll hold steady and then overwatch these Scarabs. With all the shooting, we managed to kill a base of Scarabs.
Which could potentially come back. No, it certainly does not. And then they will make their charge roll, which is an 8, which I think is what they need. So they get to there. Then the Flayed ones will declare a charge against that lone Cataphrone. Needing a 9. Not with a 3. I'll spend a command point though. No. And finally I'll have the Wraiths charge just those Assault Intercessors.
And they all set to defend.
They finish there, and I'll pick them first to fight.
I'll use Transhuman on these Assault Intercessors.
8 attacks on 4s. 5. And 4s. No, 3.
So 5s.
Kill 3.
I'll re-roll 1. Nope. 6 wounds from the Scarabs on the Skitarii, where they got 3 plus saves thanks to the Bulwark. So we lost 1. Assault Intercessors wound a Wraith, and then the Skitarii do 3 wounds to a Scarab base. Then there's a leadership test for the Assault Intercessors fighting the Wraiths. They lost 3 and their leadership 8. So they're fine. And that's it as we head into Imperial turn 2. So for movement, down here near Objective 4, the Outriders and the ATV are moving around the pipe, and the ATV is still within 12 of the Wraiths for the maximum damage. The 2 Assault Intercessors just fell back. In the middle, Battlecist would be doing some shuffling to get a bit more cover. The Skitarii Rangers will be falling back. Dominus is going to stay where he is while the Cataphrone is moving over a bit, and the Seraphim will be arriving at the end as well, and I will be using Deadly Descent, so I'll do that in a minute. Then up at the top, Calgar's Chapter Master ability is going on those Assault Intercessors, and then all the Marines are moving up towards Objective 1. The Aggressors will be arriving over here, just out of 9 of those Scarabs. Down to 6 command points with Deadly Descent, and the Black Dice will be the Plasma, which won't supercharge, and these all hit on 3s, shooting at the Flayed ones obviously. Black Dice wounds on 3, otherwise they wound on 4s. 4 bolt pistol wounds and a Plasma wound, which will kill 1.
And we've got 4s. Oh, made all 4. Does the Plasmid one reanimate? It does.
Also at the end of the movement phase I'll use Defenders of the Faith on the Battle Sisters again. Well, we're straight into the shooting phase where we can do all that again. You must remember Divine Guidance this time. So 7 bolt pistol hits this time and the plasma hit, 3s or 4s. So not as good, but we've got 2 at AP-1.
Which are 5s, made 1, and then a 4. No, so 2 dead, neither of which comes back.
Now the Battle Sisters here will shoot at those Scarabs in the ruins. So doing the Battle Sisters, the Flamer got a wound that was saved, and then we've got 4 regular wounds from bolt guns and 2 at AP-1.
So those will be on 6s because we've got cover. No, 4 5s, made 2, so...
There's just 1 Scarab base left on 1. The Stormbolter gets 2 hits. That both wound.
With 5s for cover. Now it's dead.
Didn't show it, but the Aggressor's got 20 hits and 14 wounds, so that'll wipe out the Scarabs there. We'll do the Outriders. I think they'll put their bolt rifles into the Immortals. 2 wounds at AP-2.
4s, made both.
Do the Invader as well, put everything into the Wraiths. Multi-Mount is the important gun, hits twice, 3s, wounds twice.
4s, made both.
Oh, 1 wound from the bolt rifles.
At -1, so 3. Yep.
Do the Cataphrone at the Flayed ones, that won't supercharge the plasma. 5 wounds from the Flamer.
4s, 2 dead.
And then the plasma gets 2 shots, hitting on 4s, gets 1. He didn't wound. You know what, I'll spend a command point.
It'll stop them coming back.
He wounded.
They're all dead.
Do Calgar next. He can just about see the spider behind the corner of the building. He got a wound at -2.
Saved.
Tech Priest Dominus is going to shoot the Wraiths. 3 shots on 2s with the big gun. Getting 2 hits. 3s, 6 to do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Nothing at all. And the Serpenter hits. Wounded.
Saved.
Assault Intercessors up at the top are going to shoot their pistols at the death marks. So 1 wound with the plasma and 2 with heavy bolt pistols.
Plasma is the black dice needing a 5, the other 2 need 3s. Plasma kills 1, which comes back.
Lieutenant's new roll card will go into them as well. Hits twice, 4s, 6s do a mortal wound in addition. So we've got a wound and a mortal wound.
With a 2+ save, which I've made, so just kills another one, which also comes back.
We'll be on to the charge phase. Those assault intercessors will charge those warriors.
And they will overwatch. Hitting on 5s, because we can hold steady thanks to the command protocol. 5 hits winning on 3s, 4.
5+ armour. Made 1, or lose a man. Charge roll is an 11, so they're in. So the assault intercessors get in like that, and then the lieutenant, Kjalma, and the victory guard will all charge the same unit of warriors. Do Kjalma first because he's sort of in the way. He gets a 9. Should be able to get in. The lieutenant gets a 7. 7's just enough for the lieutenant. And the victory guard, I said he'll try and charge. Oh, 2. Well, he is wounded. Down here, the outriders are going to charge the tomb blades. The charge roll is an 8. That's good enough. And the aggressors will try and charge the tomb blades as well. Gonna need a big roll, like a 10. And that gets them in. And I will pick the aggressors to go first. 13 attacks on 4s. 10 hits, wounding on 3s. 6 wounds.
Well, we got 2 with a 6+ save, who are both dead, and then 4 5s. No.
Aggressors will consolidate a bit on the objective, and the outriders. Sarge will just move to bring the Royal Warden and the Immortals into melee. Up at the top, I'll do the assault intercessors, and one of them will bring in the death marks. 11 wounds on the warriors from the assault intercessors.
With 5s, we lose 9. See how many come back. The 5s are rerolling 1s. 3 so far, 3. Well, that killed so many that I was actually able to prevent Kjalma attacking, because even piling in 3 inches he won't be within range, even though he will be able to pile in.
The lieutenant can still get in range. Rolled it off camera, but you can see here's the wound roll for the lieutenant. He got 4 wounds, that's going to be enough to wipe out those warriors. Kjalma can pile in and consolidate, so I'll just move him towards the objective. Now it's the Necron hitbacks.
Well, the death marks did nothing to the assault intercessors, but the Immortals got 5 wounds on the outriders.
Yeah, so 3s. Get in the box, it's too exciting. Right, they did a wound. And the Royal Warden
hits twice, and he's strength 5, so he wounds once.
and a 3. Right. And that's the end of the battle round. I killed 5 Necron units to 1 Imperial unit, so I win attrition again, giving me another 4 victory points and up to 13. Then we're into Necron's turn 3. I got another Miracle Dice, which was a 1. I'm not going to pick a Doctrine or Imperative, because I think the Skitarian might get charged by the Wraiths, but if they don't, I still want them to be able to shoot. I will choose Benediction of the Omnissiah for the Tech Priest and the Cataphrons, and I will also switch to the Assault Doctrine as well.
And we're on to Protocol of the Vengeful Stars for extra AP on 6s to wound with shooting. In the command phase, we brought back the missing Immortal, and then the Wraiths have come back over towards Objective 4 to come and help. The Immortals and Royal Warden fell back. The Immortals have adaptive strategy on them, so they can still shoot. Technomaster's just going to hold out in the building there for now. Then over here, the Death Marks fell back. The ones on the roof came off the roof doing so. The Command Barge has come over the top. Warriors have formed a sort of firing squad. Crypto Thralls are still back there. The Plasmarks are moved around behind the Warriors, and the Spider came up. We've got Harbinger of Destruction, which will hit the Lieutenant. He's actually the closest visible. He takes 2 mortal wounds.
Down to 3.
Shooting, we'll start with the Triarch Stalker shooting at the aggressors.
And I'm going to use Transhuman Physiology on it. But do I get it back? Yes.
6 shots on 3s, 4, and 4s. Just 1. I'll reroll one of those 2s to the command point. Right, yes, 2 wounds, -3. Not -4 because he's not within command protocol range.
So 6+ armour. Nope.
D3 each, first one. Kills 1, and 1.
1 dead, 1 down to 2.
Command Barge will shoot at them, just in range. 3 shots on 2s, rerolling 1s. Triarch Stalker helping. Never mind. 4s. 2. One of them is maybe -4, so that will go through, and then 1 save.
Failed the save.
Also D3, first one, kills the wounded one, and the second one, kills them. Next we'll have the Immortals shooting at the Outriders. Only 2 wounds, but they were both AP -3.
So 6 hits. Nope.
I'll do the Wraiths, 2 shots on 4s at them. 1 hit, and I'll Techno-Reactive Targeting to auto-wound, -3. 3 hits from the Technomarks there. And 2 wounds, one of which AP -3.
So 5+. Made it. 6+. Made it.
No. Up here, the Plasmarks will shoot the Lieutenant. 3, 2 on 3s, 1, and a 3. Yes?
4+ invulnerable, I imagine.
Yeah.
Made it.
The Canoptic Spider's going to try and finish off that Victrix Guard, because everything over there is going to have a 2+ save with cover or otherwise. 2 wounds.
Yeah, no AP, so 2+. Oh, he failed 1. I'm going to re-roll that. Yeah, he's fine.
All but one of the warriors are closer to the lieutenant, so they'll shoot at him. The one who can't will shoot at the assault invaders. Well, I used a command point for Relentless Onslaught, rolled 1-6 for an extra hit, and then we got only 4 wounds, 2 of which were AP -2.
Lieutenant isn't in cover, but he's got a shield, so 2 3+ saves, failed 1, 2 4+. Oh, he's alive on 1 wound.
And Lone Man shooting at the assault intercessor has got 2 wounds at AP -2.
So 2 4+ saves, failed 1, he kills an assault intercessor.
And the Crypto Crusader's got 1 wound on the assault intercessors.
4+ again, failed again.
On to the charge phase, Wraiths will charge the 2 remaining Outriders. And then over here, the Command Barge and the Crypto Thralls have gone into the Assault Intercessors. The Spider went into both them and the Lieutenant. And I think because Calgar's base is so big, he can't heroically intervene into an inch of anything. I'll do the Command Barge first.
Yeah, we use Transhuman on the Assault Intercessors, who also set to defend as well.
So he has a War Scythe with 4 attacks that hit on 2s. They all hit. And wound on 4s because of that. So he kills 2. I'll do the Spider next on the Lieutenant. 5 attacks on 4s. 1 hit. Wounds on 2. No. I'll re-roll that, give him a 50-50 chance to live, yep.
4+ invulnerable. Made it.
Crypto Thralls within 6 of the Plasma Monster after a parting. And they hit 8 times. And 4s, because Transhuman, 3 wounds.
3 4+ saves. Failed 2. And you know what, I will re-roll one of those failures, see if I can save Sarge. Yes.
And I've got the Wraiths last. 8 attacks on 4s. 5 hits. 3s to wound. 4.
5+ armour. Made 2. Sarge lives. Outrider Sergeant gets 2 wounds on a Wraith.
With 4s silent vulnerable, takes a wound.
I'll do the Assault Intercessor Sergeant first on the Crypto Thralls because the Lieutenant could possibly kill the Spider, in which case it might blow up and kill both of them. 5 attacks on 3s, you're rolling everything, because he still has Calgar's ability. 4 hits, 5s, re-rolling 1s, 2 wounds at -2.
5s for Crypto Thralls. Oh, make both.
And the Lieutenant, 5 attacks on 2s, 4 hits, wounding on 5s. That's 1 wound at AP -4.
Spider's down to 4.
Assault Intercessor Sergeant at the top has to make a leadership test, which he passes. And that's it. Awful lot of carnage up at the top there as we head into Imperial turn 3. Down here, near Objective 4, the Outrider Sergeant's falling back while the invaders moving in to stand on the objective, and those 2 Assault Intercessors are going to move up normally, see if they can get involved. In the middle, the Battle Sisters are moving out. Skitarii Rangers have shuffled around to get more of them on Objective 3 with the Dominus, and so they can all see the Command Barge. Up at the top, Lieutenant and Assault Intercessor Sergeant falling back. Victory's Guard moving up to get a bit involved, and then Calgar's going to have to be doing an awful lot of punching of things to take the objective. And you can't really see it, but behind that building the Cataphrone has moved out. Nearly forgot the Seraphim. They'll advance and consolidate on Objective 3 for now. Start shooting down here with the Invaders, going to put everything into the Wraiths. 2 shots on 3s. We got 1. Yeah, I'm going to re-roll that one. I want them dead. 2 hits. 3s. 2 wounds.
4s. Made both.
And bolt rifles. 5s. 2 wounds.
3s. Take a wound.
The Assault Intercessors down the bottom got a wound as well with their pistols.
4. Yep.
Might be able to just about see the tip of the Cataphron's gun there. It's going to fire its heavy plasma at the Spider, and I will supercharge while the Flame will go into the Command Barge because it is the closest model. Shots on the Spider. 3. 4s. I can reroll 1 because I've got Benediction active. 2 hits. And 3s. And rerolling 1 because of Benediction. 2 wounds.
6s to live. Nope. 4 damage. Does it blow up on a 6? Oh, it does.
Oh. See, the thing I was worried about happened, so good thing the Lieutenant and the Assault Intercessor weren't there. Flamer on the barge gets 3 hits. 5s. 1 wound.
3+. Oh, it takes a wound. It's down to 8.
I'll do Calgar up there into the Crypto Thralls. Yeah, not sure if I mentioned it, but he'll put his Chapter Master ability on himself, because he's really the only sensible target up there. 4 shots on 2s, rolling everything. Yep. 5s, yep. 2 wounds, AP -1.
3s because they're in cover. Oh, the wounded one dies. Does it come back? No.
I'll do the Skitarii Rangers. I think we'll put the Sniper and the Arc Rifle into the Command Barge, and everything else is actually going to shoot at the Wraiths. 4 wounds from Galvanic Rifles on the Wraiths.
With 4s. No, made all of those.
Supercharged Plasma. Reroll the 1. 2 hits. 3s. Doesn't wound. Oh, sorry, the Blast Pistol will have to go into the Command Barge as well. Forgot to mention that. Usually it doesn't get to shoot. 1 shot. That hits. And doesn't wound. So Sniper hits. 4s because of quantum shielding. Wounds.
5. No.
It's D3 -1.
Yeah, because of his Warlord trait. What?
1. And the Arc Rifle. 2 shots on 3s. Gets 1 hit. Rifle wounds on a 4. It does. -2 again.
Another 5. No.
And shooting at a vehicle, so it does D3 damage. -1 because of the Warlord trait. 2 goes down to 1. Now the Tech Priest Dominus is going to shoot the Command Barge as well. He moved, so 3 shots with the Heavy Volkite that hit on 3s. Black Dice Sisters of Penta that hits on a 2. I'll reroll that 1 because of Benediction. Everything hit. Black Dice wounds on a 5, otherwise it's 4s. 6s with the white dice do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Oh, and a reroll for Benediction into another wound. So it's 3 wounds with the Heavy Volkite and 2 mortal wounds.
Which are 3s. So made all of those, but it does take 2 mortal wounds.
And down here, the Battle Sisters will shoot the Wraiths. 3 wounds from the Flamer.
Kills the wounded one, other one's down to 2.
1 wound from the Stormbolter at AP-1.
Dies.
Victrix Guard, last shooting. He can throw a grenade at that last Crypto Thrall. He hit. Wounded.
Covers her a 3. Oh, no.
D3 damage. What? That's all my shooting. At the top, Calgar's going to charge the Command Barge.
You know what? It might actually overwatch. So 3 shots, hit on 6s. Hey, we've got a hit. It will wound on a 3. It does.
4+ invulnerable. Yeah.
No.
And Calgar's charge roll, he's in. And down here, the Battle Sisters are going to charge the Technomancer only.
What's that to defend?
I'll use my 3, and then my other dice is a 4. That's probably going to be enough to get them where I want them to go. Of the Superior, she's actually within an inch of the Technomancer where she is, through the wall. 1 last charge, the Assault Intercessors here are going to charge the Immortals.
Who will set to defend as well.
And their charge is a 2. So I'll pick Calgar to go first, attacking the Command Barge. He's got 7 attacks, hit on 2s, re-rolling everything. Yeah, they all hit. So really on 4s, unfortunately, because of Quantum Shielding. So it's only 1 wound.
With a 5+ invulnerable save, which I made.
So there you can see the Battle Sisters pile in. They get 9 attacks, hitting on 4s. Really on 5s. Nothing.
The Command Barge fighting back against Calgar, 4 attacks on 2s, 3 hits, and wounding on 3s, 3 wounds.
4+ invulnerable. Made 2, so it's flat 2 damage, that gets reduced. Yeah, he takes half damage, so he's down to 6 wounds. And then the Technomancer
has 1 attack, which hits on a 2 because he's set to defend. Oh, he missed.
So also, I forgot about the Victrix Guard in the charge phase. He would have charged that Crypto Thrall.
Yeah, he totally would have done that, so it was fine to fix that.
Will is going to be very polite and let me do that. And the charge roll would have been a 6. So it does get him in. Yeah, I would have fought with him first because he was only on 1 wound, and I wasn't worried about Calgar or the Battle Sisters, so 5 attacks from the Victrix Guard because he charged on 2s, re-rolling 1s because of Calgar. 4s, re-rolling 1s because the Lieutenant was just about in range, I think.
It's dead. 1 at AP-4 is enough to kill it.
Yeah. That is important because that now does mean that objective is contested. Yeah, so at the end of the battle round, I'm up to 22 victory points, and then Necron's turn 4. My Miracle Dice is a 6. I'm going to choose the +1 Ballistic Skill, -1 Weapon Skill Doctriner, and my counter will be literally Electromancer, I suppose.
And we're going to do Protocol of the Conquering Tyrant, fall back and shoot at -1 to hit. So in the movement phase, Immortals and Raw Warden come towards Objective 4. The Trike Stalker moved up down the road, then the Command Barge flew back on towards Objective 2. The Technomancer has run away to hide over there, so he can fix the Command Barge at the end of the movement phase. And at the top, the Death Moths just moved to get out of Heroic Intervention range of Calgar. Warriors had My Will Be Done on them, and they've moved to surround the objective pretty much. And the Plasmancer advanced to get his Mortal Wound Aura in the fight phase in range of all 3 of those 1 wound Space Marines. Harbinger of Destruction will hit the Victrix Guard, who dies, 1 mortal wound. And we also fix the Command Barge for D3. Oh, 3, it's up to 8 again. Triarch Stalker will shoot first at Calgar, because now the Victrix Guard is gone. He doesn't have any lookout served from anyone. 3s. Only manages 2 hits. Let's re-roll 1 of those. That's better. 3s. 2.
4+ invulnerable. Made 1.
D3 halved. 1. Command Barge at the same target, thanks to the Command Protocol, or -1 to hit, so 3s, but re-rolling 1s, thanks to the Triarch Stalker, so they will hit. Also 3s. 2 from that.
4+ invulnerable. Made 1 failed 1.
Another D3. 2 down to 1.
Cowards out of 4.
18 shots from the Warriors on 2. Will be done. 17 hits wounding on 5s.
7 2+ saves. Failed 1. He's down to 3.
Technomancer can see him, gets 2 hits, even at -1. And 2 wounds because he's T5.
Yep. 3+ armour because of cover. Made both.
Plasmancer gets 2 shots. 1 hit. Well, we're rerolling ones because we're shooting with the Trarch Stalker. They both hit. 3s. Yes.
4 plus invulnerable. Made both.
Finally, the death marks, which move, so 3s. Rerolling 1s. Ignore all those 2s. 1 hit, which wounded.
3 plus. Did a wound. Down to 2.
Finally got the Immortals and the Royal Warden. The Royal Warden will shoot first at the Outrider Sergeant. 3s. They all hit. 4s. 1.
Minus 2, so 5s. Made it.
And the Immortals as well, with Relentless Onslaught. 3s. No 6s. Only managed 4 hits with 3 wounds.
3 5 plus saves. Made 2.
In the charge phase, the Immortals and Royal Warden both charged into the Outrider Sergeant, and the Trarch Stalker went into the Battle Sisters just to hold them up. No charges up here, but at the start of the fight phase, all 3 of those models might take a mortal wound. So, Calgar. Nope, he's fine. Assault Intercessor Sergeant is dead, and then Lieutenant is alive, which is important.
Well, Lieutenant's going to push his luck and directly intervene into those warriors.
The Trarch Stalker attacking first. He only hit once. 2, I think. That's a wound.
Well, I rolled a 2, so it doesn't matter what its AP is. Kills a Battle Sister. 2 wounds on the Outrider Sergeant from the Immortals. Made both saves.
Royal Warden gets 1 hit and doesn't wound.
Oh, my pick, I'll do the Lieutenant. 5 attacks on 2s. Yep. 3s. 4 dead.
2 only come back. 1. Warriors attacking the Lieutenant. 6 attacks on 2s. And 4s. Or 2.
2 plus save.
No,
Double
one.
1. Then my other 2 units. So the Outrider Sergeant got 2 wounds on the Immortals.
1 dead. Does it come back? Nope.
And then the Invader. 4 attacks. And a wound. That's 1.
Save.
Battle Sisters hit back and failed to wound. And that'll be it. We'll be on to Imperium turn 4. So movement, Outrider Sergeant's going to fall back from the Immortals and the Royal Warden, as is the Invader ATV. Assault Intercessors and Seraphim are coming across to help contest the objective. Battle Sisters fell back from the Trarch Stalker. The Flamer and the Superior are actually just about in range of the objective through the Hemotrope Reactor. Calgar will put his ability on himself, and the Cataphron's going to come up to help him out, while the Dominus and the Skitarii are going to stay where they are. Start shooting with the Skitarii. They're going to put everything into the Immortals, but the Sniper will shoot at the Royal Warden. Doing some speedy dice rolling, the Immortals are destroyed, and the Royal Warden takes 3 damage from the Sniper, down to 1. The Seraphim and the 2 Assault Intercessors will shoot the Royal Warden. Assault Intercessors did nothing. The Seraphim got 3 wounds at AP-1 with their bolt pistols.
And he's dead. I also did spend a command point earlier to reroll a save as well, which failed.
Yeah, against the Sniper shot on the Royal Warden. Up at the top, Cataphron's going to shoot both its guns into the Warriors, no supercharging. 2 wounds from the Flamer.
1 in cover. Dead anyway. And kills another.
D6 shots from Plasma. 4 on 4s. 3 hits. 3s. 3 dead.
5 to reanimate. Oh, 2 back.
Tech Priest Dominus will shoot the Warriors. Serpenta go into the death marks. Volkite, 3 shots on 2s. Gonna re-roll one of those. Into a hit. 3s, 6s do 2 more wounds. Just 2 wounds.
1 in cover again. Makes a save.
Yeah.
Makes a save.
Serpenta, hit. Wounded. Killed a death mark.
Came back.
Calgar's gonna shoot the Warriors. 1 wound with his range weapon.
Kills 1, which re-rolling ones does not come back.
Calgar's going to charge the Warriors. You don't really need to see the result, he's just going to stand at the objective.
Although he might take a mortal wound. Oh, he does, he's down to 1.
Calgar goes down to 1, but 7 attacks on 2 re-rolling. Yep. And, well, you got 3 ones, but that's 4 wounds.
So they're dead.
Yeah. That is the end of the battle round. Nobody gets attrition because it's 3 units apiece. And at this point, the Necrons hold no objectives. 1 and 2 are contested, so they won't get any victory points in their command phase. And the maximum they can get in the next battle round is 4 from attrition, whereas I'm already ahead on 27, and I will probably get at least 5 more from objective 3. So that'll be Imperial victory. We'll recap the game for you now. Well, that was the game for issue 78 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. How do you think that went?
I didn't feel like it was going badly at any point. I think I was just behind the whole game, basically. Which is interesting, because at the same time I also felt like I had the initiative at certain points. I don't know.
For me, it felt like you had the initiative the entire game. It felt like you had complete control of the board, essentially. I couldn't really get anywhere beyond objectives 1 and 4. I think you were probably unlucky to lose. It's just the fact that I got the Battle Sisters to charge the Technomonster, and that got them in range to be annoying near objective 2. It felt like I was mostly just reacting to you. You would take an objective, I would shoot whatever you had on the objective and take it, and then you'd come and take it back. The fact that it was down to just Calgar on objective 1 on 1 wound, I think that was a microcosm of the entire game. It was very bloody up the top there.
Yeah, and if I'd just been able to do a little bit more damage to Calgar, for example, that would have changed things.
I think if you had got the Scarabs and the flayed ones into range in the same turn, I think that would have put me on the back foot a bit more than they did.
Yeah, if I'd actually charged that Cataphoron and tied up a few more things. But I think there were just a few things that happened that meant, even though I was perhaps dictating the pace of things, that you were able to capitalise on things. Things like wiping out the whole warrior unit, so I couldn't use the Resurrection Orb on it. Charging with the aggressors, making a long charge into the Tomb Blaze, because the Outriders might not have actually killed them. They might have been around to be annoying, and Technomancer could have brought one back.
Yeah, your race were really annoying. If your race hadn't been quite so durable, I think I would have been able to consolidate on the bottom objective very easily.
Yeah, and a number of things went well for me as well. Like, I rolled really well for my D3 damages, took out the 2 Cataphrons and all the suppressors and all the aggressors without much difficulty. But I think I was let down by a lot of my small arms shooting. The Warriors consistently rolled below average. I devoted a huge amount of shooting to the Outriders as well and didn't do very much.
And your death marks I don't think did anything basically the entire game. Yeah, and you were pretty unlucky at points like not killing the Lieutenant or the Victrix Guard in an earlier turn. Even though I'm playing the Marines, it is a bit depressing to watch you pour a huge amount of fire into one model like Calgar and have him live.
Yeah, that was the turn though that my D3 damage guns decided not to work properly, so he might have gone down if we got a bit luckier with that, but...
I mean, basically I won because I had attrition.
Yeah, although having said that, my other option would have been domination, and I did add up the points I would have got from that. I would have had 9, because there were 3 ends of my turns where I controlled 3 of the 4 objectives. That still would have put me at 29 to... you would have been 37 at the end. Yeah, the one turn I did kill more than one of your units, you killed 3 anyway, so just nobody got the points. That has been a problem for the Necrons, as we've seen, the fact that you could just take attrition and basically always win it, because it's much easier for you to kill units.
Yeah, it's just the smaller things that are fairly easy to pick off. Also, I didn't pick the mission-specific secondary objective, and I think in hindsight that's definitely the correct choice, because I spent most of the game in my half of the board. It's just going to be difficult to get anything that's not a bike or something you can't deep strike over there in the first place.
To achieve that at all, you would have had to send like the Outriders round on a round-the-board tour or drop the Seraphim into my deployment zone, which you could have done, but that's only, 4 victory points at the end, or you could just take attrition.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you sent a unit over there, it's a unit you wouldn't have on an objective, or stuff I wouldn't be worrying about, because it wouldn't be near objectives at the end.
But we should probably talk about our new Overlord. Apparently, according to the background, he's a separate Overlord to the one on foot.
Yes, it did pretty well. I mean, part of that was because Calgar completely failed to wound it. It probably would have gone down.
Yeah, well, also he had the -1 damage Warlord trait.
It's basically just a faster and tougher Overlord who's slightly worse in melee but has a gun instead. The fact that it's a character means it can hide behind things, getting lookouts there, which is a bit ridiculous because it's huge, but according to the rules it can stand behind some warriors and you can't shoot it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 12 inches and can fly means that it can actually zoom off and do useful things like getting its auras in range or repositioning to the other side of the board to do something.
I would say the manoeuvrability is actually the biggest advantage over the one on foot. Because you measure from its hull and it's physically larger than the Overlord, technically you get a bit more range out of it as well. I suppose it's also worth noting that it's a character so you can do things like heroic interventions with it as well.
And the fact that it can have a resurrection orb is kind of handy. I did also magnetise the Lord. In fact, I originally painted this Lord for our Crusade campaign on foot. At the time, it might have been the original promotional poster that showed the whole collection that had the Lord on foot and the Annihilation Barge, but at some point they decided to change that. So, whereas I thought I constructed the right one, it turned out I hadn't in the end. So he's now magnetised, so he can stay on foot or be on here, and I've painted up the gun that comes with the Annihilation Barge as well, so I can take the railings off and use that instead. So it is at least 2 models in one.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think it would actually be more useful to have a Lord on foot and an Annihilation Barge, because it gives the Necrons more firepower, which I think they kind of need. And the Lord on foot has a different aura. Doesn't he have an aura rerolling ones?
Yeah, rerolling ones to wound.
Yeah, pretty handy.
Personally, I don't like the model all that much. It's another of the Necrons flying croissant from their sort of Space Egyptians phase. It's not a creepy robot or a robot zombie, so it's never going to be my favourite. But I did notice an interesting detail I was painting it, which is that the Overlord doesn't actually have any buttons on his little railing there, because it's not his job to push buttons, it's his job to tell other people to push buttons. So I thought that was kind of neat.
I like the pose of the Lord, at the very least.
Yeah, he looks like he's directing his legions.
And honestly, Catacomb Command Barge is a pretty funny name.
And in terms of value for money, I think it's about half price. price over 2 issues. I think it'd be like £35 to buy it separately. So.
And you can probably track down the instructions for the Annihilation Barge.
Yeah, fairly easily. And as I was saying, you can not glue it on, so you can make it swappable.
Well, anyway, don't think there's too much more to say about this game or this issue. Let us know your thoughts on the Catacomb Command Barge, or whether you kept it as the Command Barge or the Annihilation Barge. As I suppose you might imagine, this is going to be sticking to 9th edition, so all of our comments are based on 9th edition. Obviously, it's not the same in 10th.
And if you're watching this at the time of release, there's also going to be a couple of weeks gap in Imperium coverage, because I'm going to be away. But our Stormbringer series will continue.
We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.